Thank you for checking out Fieldman, Rolapp Associates Municipal Market Update. Our data is as of January 23rd, 2025. This is our 57th posting. Fieldman Rolapp Associates is a municipal advisor. Often we go by Fieldman. The Municipal Market Update, we often call the MMU. And what our goal with this is approximately monthly, give our clients and other market participants updates on the municipal market and how that may or may not impact potential issuers. And my name is Adam Bauer. I serve as CEO and President of Fieldman Rolapp Associates. Oh, sorry about that. Our first slide, we put a lot on this slide. I've been through this the last 20 or so of these. The green lines represent the Fed fund rate changes, and you can see the key for that is on the far right vertical axis. The yellow line is the aggregate of all those changes going back to January of 2022. And then that bluish line is the US Treasuries. And so hopefully we can see by that green line is we've been trending lower in the Fed funds rate. I think a lot of the talk is that there will not be a rate cut in the immediate future until we can really figure out where jobs are and where inflation is. But we'll see what happens. But I think one thing that I've taken note is the 10-year US Treasury is not tracking to the Fed fund rate declines. You can see it looked like it was anticipating Fed fund rate declines going far back as like April of 2024, went down. And then once we actually got the rate declines, you can see rates have gone up from there. So it'll be interesting to see how that unfolds going forward. One of my favorite charts, which has shown you a number of times, is that we have the 30-year MMD and its changes from the month before. So keep in mind, if you see the date of a month there, it's tracking the month before that. So January 2nd represents the changes in December. One thing I think you'll probably notice there is we look a lot like November on the long end. So in November, I'm sorry, at the end of October, beginning of November, we are at 3.87 on a 30-year MMD. And then at the very beginning of January, we're at that same rate. So really all those benefits we achieved throughout November have kind of been gone when it comes to the 30-year MMD. This really tries to give you that whole MMD, municipal market data yield curve, each data point, years 1 through 30. The blue lines represent the range of interest rates going back to 2005, so about 20 years. I'm sorry, 25 years. And that green line represents the data as of 1/22/2025. One thing that if you've been watching these last few months, what I hope you're seeing is less of an inverted yield curve in the front end. From my quick glance here, it looks like we are 100% traditional yield curve here. No inversion from what I can see at first glance here. And then what I also want you to see is when we look at where we are with rates, where we are in those blue lines. So on the front end, you can see we're a bit elevated, and it looks like we get much closer to average on the longer term maturities. Looks like about like years 14 through 15, maybe even 13, 12. But all those years are really more like average than more inflated on the yields. Here's where we have money flowing in and out of the bond funds. If it's green, money's flowing in. If it's yellow, money's flowing out. Generally, money flowing in is good for municipal bonds because we have more demand for bonds. So if supply stays the same, this should be a very good factor. Then our next slide, we show economic data points that are coming up. Certainly something to watch. Any one of these comes in different than expected, certainly could have an impact on the market. So these are what a lot of investors will be looking towards. Here we show you just the general trends of the different AAA MMD. You can see the 5, 10, 15, 20, and 30 year, and just how those have trended over time. On the next slide, we have the registered municipal advisors here listed. Encourage you to reach out to any one of them for any kind of information related to the market. This was a pretty short one. Just really wanted to give folks an update of where things stood since we last spoke. Look forward to a little bit longer recording in February. Have a great 2025 and look forward to talking with you again soon.